Hello, it's been a while. So I think my last video was on death, right? And how I was taking it pretty rough. It was something that was hard for me. Let me tell you, it's still hard for me. I'm still trying to process it. I'm 53 years old. My name is Ina Irby. I used to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses, if you don't know that. I looked, and I love ChatGPT, and I probably should always put like a formal kind of topic together, but I don't. I just kind of go with the flow, what's in my heart. I apologize for the ums and maybe the long, quiet pauses, but whatever. So here I go. I'm 1,662 days out as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. 4 years and 207 days. So I looked that up today. I was quite amazed. And I think my progress is slow, but it's coming, right? You learn from your mistakes and you continue to make them. Am I growing? Yes, I think 1%, right? If we could just grow 1%, you're doing good. Every day is progress. I'm journaling. It is mind-numbing to journal for me. It doesn't feel good. So I have to write pictures. I have to draw pictures in order for me to journal and have fun with it. Because journaling to me is like I said, it's mind-numbing. It's frustrating. I have to pull things out of myself that I don't know are there, which is fine. Eventually, it's good. It's a good thing. It just takes time. And in the mornings, they say to do it early in the morning. It is hard because I want to spend time with my husband. I want to eat my breakfast. I don't really want to do a deep dive into my brain. Didn't sleep well, hurt my back. So dealing with that, it's issues, right? Issues that we have, and aging issues. I'm menopause. It's official. That's not fun either. And I realize that most of the people around us, other than the United States, so they don't have such a hard time with menopause, but in the United States, the women don't eat right. So we suffer because of our bad eating habits. So getting myself onto a good, healthy regime is not easy. All I want to do is have donuts and Mexican wedding cookies. No, you can't do that. I'm walking, so that's good. Okay, so here we go. And I know I tell you, this is Beyond Belief, Agnostic Musings, 12-Step Life, right? So I'm definitely a codependent. And that is something that I will suffer with for the rest of my life, I'm pretty sure. So when it comes to being an ex-cult member, you know, you always want to make everybody happy. And that's impossible. And then you want to make God happy. And that's even more impossible. So I go through this book, and I should go daily, right? So we know which day we're on, but I don't. I do it, I pick it up from where I want to. And so there we go. Today we're reading January 16th. We may be self-employed and have the idea that we cannot charge much because we love what we do, or that we are justified only by suffering. But buyers don't care about our struggle. They only want to know if a product fits their needs. In fact, if a book or film is produced in joy, that feeling shines through and attracts buyers. Turning work into play, Workaholics Anonymous. I turned off all the ringing. It should be quieter now. Work takes up a large percentage of the best years of our lives. What purpose do we see in our labor? Work is a good reflection of the state of our recovery. No one in the office cares what step we are on, just that we do what is asked of us. Some of us find a higher purpose in our work, while others find ourselves out of sorts vocationally. Work recognition might be a source of a daily buzz. Do we look to wealth or prestige to give our lives meaning? If work is a means to an end, that's not selling out. But if we are courting it to feed psychic needs, we might feel used and abused at the end of the work relationship. Motives and intentions are keys to creating a healthy work environment. Games People Play by Eric Byrne offers many good ways to identify and inventory our behavior and to recognize when we are being drawn into the games other people play. Not every conflict is our fault or responsibility to solve. Work can also be a way to get right with the world, to be what we could not be in addiction. We can make amends for the selfish rut that obsessive compulsiveness reduced us to. Like today's quote says, attitude counts for a lot. People won't remember what we did or said so much as the attitude we projected. Dignity doesn't come from a title. We bring dignity to the workplace. And as our integrity grows, so will our job satisfaction. Just for today, can I reflect on what I have to contribute instead of what I need and want? Life is like a mirror. When I smile at the mirror of life, life smiles back at me. If I wait for the mirror to smile first, that's a long wait. I spend a lot of my life at work. What am I going to do with that time? I am back in the labor force. So I was a mom and I am a mom. Mom, you never stop being a mom. I got to raise my children to an age where they could feed themselves and take care of themselves and have a conversation with an adult. So that I feel now I can go and work. Do I work 40 hours a week? No, I do not work 40 hours a week. I work probably about a 35 hour a week. 30. So that is a lot for me, including mom time, doing the work that comes with never ever stopping your work as a mom. I never have a break. When I come home, I don't get to rest. I still have to do, help with the dishes or make the dinner, or, you still continue to do things as a mom. It doesn't stop. And you still have responsibilities. You want the kids to do well, so you remind them. So I'm trying not to be a nag. Working for me is a challenge. It is learning to, what it says, feed psychic needs. We might feel used and abused at the end of a working relationship. Trying to find what my intentions are in this particular job, my motives. What are the keys to creating a healthy work environment? For me, is not to have people that are abusive in any way. And when I work with different families tend to have family members have different roles in the family. And some is the boss role, some is the you feel sorry for me role. There's a lot of roles that I deal with when I'm caregiving. And where I fit in, well, I'm a good melder, right? As Jehovah's Witnesses, we did well to just meld into the background. We could just melt or meld in. I don't know how to explain it any other way. And you just end up, you work well with people. And especially when it came to, let's say, political ties. As Jehovah's Witnesses, what we would always explain to people that we had specific in the words, how we said it. What is it? Neutral, right? We were neutral. I am no longer neutral. I definitely have a political stand, and that feels good. But when I'm working with people who have an opposite political stand, I can still be very tactful and meld quietly. I don't have to be bombastic and say, oh no, I do not believe in the yellow Cheeto taking totalitarian control, right? I do not believe that that is a good idea for the Supreme Court or for anybody and that wants to have a human rights. It's very interesting to have my own mind and be able to express myself. It can be a challenge because not to project, right? We have the ability to project the pain that we've gone through with people that were alcoholics. My father was an alcoholic. My mother was a rager. So together, they very controlling. My mother was very controlling. And we did not do well at the end of our relationship when we ended up having to, my beloveds were being picked on by my mom, and I allowed it for me, but I didn't want that for my children and for my husband. We did it as long as we could, my husband and I, but when my children became members of the family and their needs were more important to me than my mother's needs, I had to cut my mother off. And I had to have radical acceptance, right? That these people are never going to change, so you're going to have to make a choice. Either you just continue with it and, like I said, meld into it and do what they want, but kind of quietly just not say a whole lot about it, but about what you want, right? You still take a certain stand very quietly. It's a rocky road to walk, and it's not easy. It can be very painful at times because you're suffering inside and you can't really express yourself properly. And that is conflict, right? And I like the fact that it's not every conflict is our fault or responsibility to solve. And as an Al-Anon member and someone who recognizes that, well, a codependency is very strong in me. Being a codependent is difficult. It can be difficult because you want to make everybody happy, and that is impossible. It's not possible to do that. Making amends for selfishness and obsessiveness and compulsiveness can reduce us to not living with our dignity. Doesn't come from a title. We bring dignity to the workplace, and as our integrity grows, so will our job satisfaction. And you don't want to give up your dignity in a job, right? There's only so much you can take when it comes to work abuse that you can take in a workplace environment, and it can get to you. I think reflecting, right? Work is a good reflection of the state of our recovery. And I'm working on that because recovery is slow, like I said. So when I know that things around me or people around my job or around me are misbehaving or behaving badly, it can be a challenge to speak up for myself and say, hey, you know what, what's the deal here? What are we doing? Why are we talking like this? Or why are you expressing this anger? And I'm not understanding why there's a problem. So yeah, it's always a challenge as you have different personalities that you're dealing with. For me, I can weekly have different personalities that I'm dealing with. And it gets to let me see who I am becoming. Is it easy for me to stand up for myself? Absolutely not. It is so frustrating because I can't find the words, or I am in a different mindset, and to switch it all around, to switch my mind to, okay, I have to go ahead and tell each little step, right, of what I did, or I have to go to wherever this person wants me to go, sit down, and it feels very closed in just like elders when we go into a back room and you have to sit with these men. That has happened to me maybe a handful of times. And that can be really hard. And even in my Al-Anon meeting, and I don't know if I've mentioned that before or this before, the room is very closed off and looks like the library at Kingdom Hall. And when I first started going to Al-Anon with my group of girls, I felt this intense feeling, heavy weight on my chest, and I just wanted to run. So, you know, these things that you can project into your whatever you're going through, working it out, sitting there and doing deep breathing and realizing, okay, this is not the same situation. I do have an opportunity to get up. I don't have to agree with the person who's talking to me. If it's one-on-one and I'm having a difficult time with what this person is asking me of me, or I'm not understanding, I can ask questions. I don't have to get defensive. So there's a lot in growth, in taking it with you in your workplace, making sure that you're making healthy choices for your mind and your body. And that is something that I continue to work on, because making healthy choices for my mind, I mean, sometimes it weighs out more than the money, because I love the money, but I don't want to end up losing my mind for money. It's just not worth it. So I hope this helps you, because it took me a while to get back on camera. It takes me a while. I do a lot of personal work, and in that process, it just takes time. It takes time to process it all and really learn from what you're listening and what you're hearing, to learn from what you're hearing, and then make choices to do different things to make it so that you're learning properly and actually following through with your actions. And that probably is the hardest part. Like I said, journaling is really tough for me. Then I hurt my back with one of my clients. So back pain is like the worst. And I'm still trying to exercise and get myself out at least 20 minutes a day. It can be a challenge because of the fact that, you know, you're sore. And then you're sore in places that you've never been sore at before because you're 53 years old. And as Angela Johnson said, you just put your socks on and you've hurt your back. I really did hurt my back with a client. And it takes time to heal. And a lot longer time than it used to at 23. So working on my core and dealing with menopause and all the stuff that comes with aging. And then your face is changing and your hair is changing. Everything is changing. Everything is changing for me. Anyway, I appreciate you listening, and I hope this helps. Like I said, it's a challenge to feed yourself properly, mentally and emotionally and physically. So I'm going through those challenges too. You're not alone. I am grateful that I have this opportunity. I'm grateful that you share your time with me, and I appreciate you. I mean, really, it's pretty amazing. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share, and that people care to listen, and that they're going through the same things too. And I forget that. I forget that there are other moms out there. I forget that there are other menopausers, and there's people that are going through the same things that I'm going through when it comes to fears and challenges to get over. And we're doing it little by little, 1% each day. Something, anything is something, right? Anything is something. And that is celebration. That is something to celebrate. Anything is something as we grow. So celebrate those growths, even if they're minor, even if it's just getting up in the morning and brushing your teeth and getting clothes on for the day. Celebrate that. Well, I hope this helps you on your healing journey. Follow your bliss and be good humans.